Here's what your favorite fantasy novel says about you, Part 2. If your favorite fantasy novel is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, he's never coming home, babe. You need to let go. Those doors of stone are never going to open. If your favorite fantasy novels are The Legend of the Condor Heroes by Jin Yong, you love old Chinese kung fu movies and you love your fantasy to be adventurous, theatrical, campy, silly, goofy, and honestly good for you. If your favourite fantasy novel is The Once and Future King by T.H. White, if your favourite fantasy novel is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle, you were that kid in the classroom looking right down your nose at all the other kids reading Harry Potter and The Hobbit. You knew you were better than them, smarter than them, and now you're a burned out adult with ADHD. If your favourite fantasy novels are by David Gemmell, you have a very short attention span, you love watching Michael Bay movies, and you like it when things go boom. If your favourite fantasy novels are A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, it's been at least 10 years since you set foot in a bookshop. I think it's time, babe. If you're a straight woman whose boyfriend's favourite fantasy books are the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, congratulations, that guy has no commitment issues at all. If your favourite fantasy series is The Dark Tower by Stephen King, you're really weird, but in a cishet guy kind of way, so not actually that weird at all. I respect it, but you're not quite as unique as you think you are. If you actually want to be the weird guy, you should read some queer horror stories. Like mine, for example. You can buy my book through the link in the description. I really think you should. If your favourite fantasy books are the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski, babe, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't finish The Witcher 3, I didn't finish the TV show, I read the first Witcher book, I didn't finish that either, I just don't care. I have no joke to make, I don't care. But I am sorry about that. If your favourite fantasy novel is either Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell or Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, you love having fun through your fiction, but you also need it to mean something, and I deeply respect you. In fact, take my number, it's 079. If your favourite fantasy novel is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, you are smarter and better than everyone else on this list so far, and you know it, and you're right. If your favourite fantasy books are by Leigh Bardugo, you've got a lot of beige things in your house, and they're starting to see some wear and tear, and I think it's time to get them replaced. No, I don't get that one either, but you know exactly what I mean. Don't pretend you don't. She's very mid. If your favourite fantasy books are by John Gwynne, you grew up on David Gemmell. That's it, that's all I've got. It's true. If your favourite fantasy books are the Ketty J series by Chris Wooding, you are my new best friend. Genuinely, please DM me. No one loves those books like I do, and I need a friend. If your favourite fantasy books are by is it Tad Williams? Then you're the booktuber Rick McDonnell. Hi Rick, how are you doing? And if your favourite fantasy books are by T. Kingfisher, you have a lot of trauma. You grew up on fairy tales, you generally prefer horror to fantasy these days, and you need a hug. It's okay, I get it. I really hope this makes up for all the glaring omissions in part 1. Let me know. Subscribe for books.